Hello guys, this is Kudo, and today in this video I will show you how you can implement a pop-up manager. It will allow you to create a pop-up and instantiate a pop-up whenever you want in your game. So let's get into it. Hello guys, and welcome back to this part 2 of this tutorial on how to make a pop-up manager, a generic pop-up manager. So last time I let you with the prefab of pop-up and just the setup of the script. And right now, in this part, we will see more advanced code. So let's get into it. So first thing, you will need to create. Let's head back to Unity. And let's create a script and let's name it callback. All right, and let's open it. All right, so the script is open. So now we don't need any of that. We just need to create a public delegate void callback. So I will make a tutorial about this, what is a delegate function, but just keep in mind the delegate function is just a function treat like a variable. It allows you to call a function inside a function. So I just create my delegate function. So let's head back to pop-up object and let's create the other function. So let's create three other functions. So let's say public void on click validate. All right. Let's paste it and paste it. So let's say on click cancel and on click OK. So what we need to add in in this variable, we need to add three callback. So let's create private, or we don't need to put private, but just callback. Let's call it on validate. Don't worry, I will explain it just after why we need to do that. Callback uh, on cancel, and the last one, callback on uh, OK. So why we use callback? So let's head back to Unity. Just will maybe an example it will be more easier. So let's say I am in the game, I'm pausing the game, but maybe a pop-up when I click to validate, maybe it's loading. I need to load a level maybe number 3, but maybe in other case this pop-up when I click to validate, it just need to reset the score. So the callback is allow me basically the callback allow me to add a more specific function on when I will click on validate on or cancel or OK. I can add a functionality to a button, but I just do the basic stuff, but I can customize what I can do when I click on the button. Don't worry, if it's not clear, it will be more clear when we'll do the example. So sorry, I think I forget one or two function. So let's create a public void close pop-up because we need to close pop-up, and what we need to create is public void destroy pop-up. Destroy game object or destroy pop-up, yeah, it will be fine. Alright, so what we want to do in this one is destroy game object. Very easy. In close pop-up, what we want to do is just underscore animator pop-up dot play. We want to play the animation close, all right? And what we want to do on click validate um, if on validate is different than null, we want to call on validate. And it will be the same for cancel and on click OK. So underscore cancel button, no, sorry, underscore cancel on cancel, all right, and same on as on OK, all right, and we call on OK. All right, so let's head back to Unity, and what we need to do in generic pop-up, just select your three button, and let's add plus, drag and drop your script, and add the functionality on close pop-up, and add another functionality, and maybe, and for this one, let's on-click validate and just change for the cancel, not on-click validate, but on-click cancel. And for the OK button, let's do it on-click OK. All right. So yeah, so let's head back to our code, and what we want to do with this is just to create a public function. So let's create a public function, public void init pop-up, init pop-up. And this init pop-up will take in parameter pop-up pop-up type. Let's call it type. It will take a lot of parameters. Don't worry, at the end I will explain it and you will see it will be very easy to understand. So pop-up type, I will put a default pop-up type. So let's say the default one should be this one. After I need to put in parameter a string. So let's say string title text, maybe my title. So what I'm doing here is just I put default value, and basically with this function I will create a pop-up manager just after, and basically I can change all this value. But don't worry, I just keep going doing it. So string body text will be equal to my body text. I just put some random value, but it's okay. So string validate text equal to validate. Same for string cancel text should be equal to cancel. String OK text should be equal to OK by default. And let's handle the callback. So let's put in parameter callback validate button, validate button. Another will be equal to by default null if we don't want to add a functionality to this button. Let's say callback cancel button will be equal to null by default, and the last one is callback OK button will be equal to null by default. All right, and I think you guessed it, but what we need to do here is just to take all this parameter. So let's copy paste it. And what we want to do is just to title dot text should be equal to my title text, and I will do the same for all the variables. And do not forget to call your function because you want to what type of pop-up you want to show. So it will take in parameter type. All right, so with that we finish with the pop-up object. So let's save this. And let's head back to Unity. And we need to create a folder prefab. So just make sure you filled everything and drag and drop your prefab here. You can delete this. We don't need that anymore. And let's head back to our script folder and let's create a C# script and let's call it pop-up manager. Pop-up manager. And let's open it in Visual Studio. So as soon as you open your script, so we don't need the start, or maybe we need the start function to just test it. So you just need the update function, you can erase it. And let's create a field. So let's create serialize field. Let's create a game object. So let's say prefab pop-up, sorry, prefab pop-up object. Let's take another serialized field and let's say game object dot main canvas because we need a canvas to instantiate our pop-up. And let's create we don't need to serialize this field, so let's create another variable. So pop-up object will be equal to not equal, but let's create a variable called pop-up object. All right. So what we need to create three other variables. So let's say hide in inspector because we don't want it to be showing in the inspector. So let's say public const string default text validate. So default text validate. So this should be my default string on the validate button. I will do the same for the cancel and the OK button. So default text cancel. It should be cancel. And last one is OK and text OK. So maybe you will ask why const string because I need to put const because when I will when I will attributate this string on this function, the function need to the value to be constant. That's it. So after that, what I need to create is public void, and what we need to do is to be able to instantiate. So let's say public void instance pop-up. And right now, what we can do is just customize what we want to show. So let's say pop-up, and to be more efficient, let's head back to pop-up object, and what we want to do is just to copy paste this because it will take the same parameter as my other function. All right. Instance pop-up. Okay. And do not forget to use pop-up object. All right. To use this to okay and okay. Nope. Yeah. Sorry, I forget to. Okay. Okay. Should be fine. And Okay, so basically what I'm gonna do here, it's this function allow me to instance will be allow me to instance all a pop-up with a text, a title text I want, a body text I want, a text cancel if I want to put another text, maybe back or maybe follow or maybe I don't know. You can put whatever text you want, and with this callback, when you will press the validate button or the cancel button or maybe the OK button, it will allow you to do another action than just close the pop-up. And this is why it's very interesting to do a generic function about this. So what we want to add is if my pop-up object equal to null, what we want to do is just to do a pop-up object will be equal to instantiate. We want to instantiate our prefab pop-up. So sorry, prefab pop-up object. So the transform should be my main canvas, the transform, and what we want to get is just to do a get component, and we want to get the component of my prefab object of, I think you guessed it, the pop-up object. So right now, I just take the pop-up object script in this instance of my pop-up, and what we want to do is just to do pop-up pop-up object dot, and we will access to my init pop-up. So basically, this function. And with this function, I can put in parameter all the parameter I get here. And this allow me to change the title, the body, the validate text, etc., to all the pop-up I want. So right now I want to put in parameter type. After it will be title text. After it should be body text. After it's validate text. And after it's cancel text. After is OK text. After is the callback, so validate button. Where is validate button? All right. After it's a cancel button, so cancel button, and the last one is will be OK button. So right now we just say, hey, oops, sorry. We just say, all right, I initialize my pop-up with all my default parameter right now. And yeah, I'm just stupid to do something wrong. Here we create validate OK cancel to not put validate cancel, but just the default string. So this, uh, this, and this. Basically, you can do the same for the other text, but I think this one um, should be more interesting because validate and cancel is the same. It will be the same a name, but the body and title can change a lot. So this is why I just keep cancel and validate. But if you want, you can put a default text. I just put it like this in the string, but if you want, you can do the same for the title text and body text. Let's head back to Unity. Let's create an empty game object. So let's create an empty game object. Let's reset everything and let's call it pop-up manager. So pop up manager, all right. And let's add my component pop-up manager. So what he will ask is the prefab of pop-up. So let's go to prefab and let's give it and drag and drop the generic pop-up. And what you want is the main canvas. So drag and drop your canvas. So save everything. So now let's head back to our code. And what we can do just like this, just if you just on the start function, just call this function, so instant pop-up. You don't even need to put a parameter because we already got some default parameter. So basically, if I just do this and close the function, because I put some default parameter, this will allow me to instance my pop-up. I just forget one thing before launch this test. On the generic pop-up, just open it. Just open it, and in the animation, so animation, in the close pop-up, you need to add an event. So to add an event, I will just add event like this, and in a function select, I just need to destroy the pop-up because when we close the pop-up, we need to destroy it at the end of the animation. All right, so let's save it. Let's head back to our scene, and if I just hit play, you will see a pop-up showing. So let's test it. And voila. So as you can see, a pop-up is showing a validate button and cancel button, my body text, my title, because this is all the default value I put in my pop-up. But what if I want another pop-up? Maybe I want not instance pop-up like this, but maybe I want a type. So I want to change the type, and let's say I want a pop-up type, maybe like this, just with um, a title and an OK button. Sorry, I think this one is too much. Yeah, this one is too much. Okay. So let's save it. Let's head back to Unity. And if I hit play, you will see, oops, hit play, you will see I got another pop-up with just the OK button and my title. How awesome is that? And what we can do, as you can see, if I click on OK button, because I got a default on-click function on the OK button, because it will close my pop-up. But I didn't add any event with the callback because I just right now when I click on OK, we just close my pop-up. As you can see, if I click to OK, oops, uh, I know why it's not working because it's not close but close pop-up, sorry. So make sure on your code when you put it, it's not close but close pop-up. Sorry about that. Let's save it. Let's head back to Unity and let's press play. And as you will see, as soon as click OK, the pop-up is closing. But what if I want to click on the OK button and make another action? Or maybe if I want to click on validate, I want to do another action. And this is why the callback or delegate function, but I prefer to call it callback, is very interesting. So let's say, so let's keep this start function with that. So let's say I want just a title with OK button. So the second parameter is a title text. Maybe in this title text I want to have another thing. It say maybe El Professor Kudo. So maybe this is the channel of Professor Kudo. Professor Kudo. This will be my title, and what we want to have in body text, we don't need to body text, so let's put null. In the validate text, we don't need a string, so let's put null2. In the string in cancel text, we don't need, so let's say null. And for the OK text, not maybe not put OK, but maybe I want another string. Maybe I say my channel is awesome. I just put anything. Channel is awesome. All right, let's save this and let's head back to Unity and just hit play and you will see all the change will appear. So, all right. And there it is, guys. So this is a channel of Professor Kudo and my channel is awesome. All right, so another thing we can do with the callback, still you can do the same with the other type, but this one is very easy. And this what I'm just showing you is just to change the title and the main text, etc., etc. But what I want to show you, it's about the delegate function. So you got the validate button. So after the OK text, you will need to put null because we don't need a validate button. After that, we don't have a cancel button, so let's put null too. But maybe when we click on the OK button, maybe we want to do another action. So what we want to do is just to use this kind of function. So this allow me to add a functionality on my OK button. So let's try it. So with this kind of syntaxes. So let's say when I will press on OK button, I want to say debug dot log. Uh, yes, we click on OK button. Let's save this and head back to Unity. Let's hit play. And you will see in my console, as soon I will press the OK button, you will see in the console, yes, we click on the button. And this is why the callback or delegate function, call it whatever you want, is very interesting because with that you can make we just make a generic pop-up manager because with that we can do whatever we want. If we press on this type of button or another type of button, we can call and make some action. So I hope this tutorial is clear. And in the part 3 of this tutorial, because you got the basic, in the part 3 of this tutorial, I will make some example, and maybe you will be more familiar with that. So I don't want to kill you with all this information, so this is why I cut the video or this part 2. So keep in mind, just watch the part 3 because it will be a bonus and maybe you will be more understandable of what we just done. And hope you learned something. I know it's kind of difficult. I know this kind of thing is kind of difficult, but if you handle this, you you can do a lot of stuff with that. So hope you enjoy the video. If you like it, just thumb up the video, comment. It will be very nice. If you don't like it, so dislike. But again, help me to improve. Again, sorry if I misspell some word. It's not my Latin language. Again, I'm trying to improve myself. And I catch you guys for the third part. If you're interesting to let me show you other example and maybe get more familiar about the delegate and callback function. So I catch you guys next time and thank you for watching. Bye bye.